Hey everybody, I hope you're all doing well today. I know it's been a little while since we had a video. We went out a few weeks ago, visited my family. It was fantastic seeing them. And then last weekend we had stuff to do around the house. But today I have something super exciting to share, and that is that we finally got our RV skylight replaced. Now, I don't know if you know the history, but we've actually replaced that skylight 3 different times. Every time we replaced it with the manufacturer's skylight that actually came with the Tiffin when it was made, and every single time we ran into the same problem. We started to get hairline cracks throughout the edges of the skylight. So every time I reinstalled it, I tried something a little different not to get those cracks, but it always happened. And as you can see, I got to a point where I was so frustrated with it, I just essentially caulked the whole thing and was like, I'm just going to cover everything, make sure no water gets in, and then we're going to order a skylight. So we did end up finding a new skylight that's manufactured differently from the one that we got. It's actually a Lexan by EZTops. If you're going to use this skylight, you do need to make sure to prepare, because it did take about a month and a half to get here, but we got it earlier this week, so we had to take this project on. So what we actually ended up doing is, on the interior of the skylight, we're not actually going to put an interior skylight in there. We're actually going to kind of do like a framing of it with wood, so that from the shower it goes up wood straight up into the exterior skylight. But I did see a YouTube video where a gentleman actually used some of the eternabond tape in order to go from the ceiling down to the interior of the skylight, just to keep any water that may come in from going into the ceiling. So I figured, why not? It can't hurt. We're going to cover that up anyway. So I went ahead and did that on the interior. Then it came time for the exterior, which was kind of a nightmare. So I ended up actually removing the caulk around the screws and around all of the exterior old skylight, removed the screws. Once I removed the caulk, I actually realized that all of the little hairline cracks I had actually covered up with the caulk ended up being just kind of the tip of the iceberg. Because once I got the old caulk off, I realized that the cracks had spread so much further throughout the rest of the bottom of the skylight. With this last time that we did it, I made sure not to screw down too hard into the skylight, because I heard that that may help contribute to the stress factors, fractures in the skylight. But regardless, a lot of skylights are known to actually have this happen anyway in the RVs. Either way, we got the old skylight out, and with our new skylight from Lexan and the EZTops, it's actually recommended that you don't use screws. So this is a completely different approach to me, but I'm actually pretty excited about it, because if the screws were the problem, now it doesn't have them. And I would imagine, just from thinking about it, that without having the screws, there is going to be a little bit more flexibility for the skylight. So what's interesting about this one as well is that it's recommended that you don't use the die-core, but instead you use the Surebond SB-140. So we got some of that. We put down a bead around the outside of the skylight, put the new skylight on top, and then took the eternabond and put it around the edges in order to waterproof it and seal it. So we got that all complete. Everything's looking pretty good. We're satisfied with it. We're actually supposed to have some rain tomorrow. So I was debating whether or not to actually go ahead and tarp it, just because I'm a little nervous, but I decided nope. I used the eternabond tape. Everything should be sealed by the time that it comes tomorrow and the rain comes. So we'll see what happens. One thing I did want to note is that this skylight is actually quite a bit lower than our old one. And really, when I step back and look at it once it's complete, I think I like it a lot lower as well. But anyway, that about wraps it up for today. If you guys find yourself having a problem with your skylights, having cracks and having to constantly replace it, definitely feel free to check out the description below. We'll have a link over to EZTops where we got ours. We've definitely heard great things about these, and that they don't crack as frequently. So fingers crossed, hopefully over time we'll be able to tell you that's the case. But anyway, thanks so much for swinging by today, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Otherwise, we'll see you again soon.